There are quite a few positive pieces tonight, but also a lot of hit you between the eyes pieces. And it can create fear. We don't play into fear in this group. But we have to bring it to the light. You know, my answer to them is fuck them and their games. Because each one of us that listens to this show can change that narrative and the course of action. We've just forgotten our own power. We don't have to accept those are the consequences. We all have the power to change them. Now, on some day, there will be an end to THI shows. But THI will never leave you regardless of whether the show in this format continues. But the end coming will be a celebration, not a sadness. As THI shows will merge into TPC shows. And a shift from what the world and their demons have done to us to what we are not necessarily doing to them directly, but indirectly. You changing you into a better version indirectly damages them. Something too few realise because they want to see the external damage directly impacting them in some form of retribution. But internal damage by your own improvements does them far more harm than you realise. An improved version of you will not allow yourselves to remain the battery and harvesting centre they crave of you. You will not allow the enslavement of you they desire also. You will have cut off their energy source, which is you, us, we, all of us. Imagine a cabal member, pick anyone, in hospital on a ventilating machine. And you can pummel them with fists and feet, which uses your energy and encourages low vibrational frequencies. Or just turn off the switch, which uses no energy and their oxygen supply goes and they die. That is the analogy of improving yourself. You don't have to fight the system. Just be clever, not smart. All the database of information of the old system is contained within our what is now vast archives. It is all still available to all when they are ready. But leaving THI when the time comes will herald the start of the transition out of the old system and into the TPC, which is the new system created by us in our image, not theirs. A post was put up last week about indigo children and star seeds, and how indigos are born awake. A few things come from that statement that is laced in the New Age rhetoric, which doubled up as a classic distraction program and also used as an ego-based platform that somehow if you are an indigo or starseed, you are in some way more special than the rest. This is no different to the Chosen One program, which includes Jews, but only the elite Jews, royalty, gods, goddesses, the Eve, and anyone else placed above others is simply not true. as nobody is above anybody else. The only people or non-people in some cases believe in that is because they are immersed in the hierarchy program and awash with unbalanced ego. The children are children, and every one of them is special enough without adding targeting labels to them like indigo or star seeds. The reality is we are all star seeds. We all came from the stars. We are all stars. Not just some self-appointed cretins masquerading as the demigods for their own self-importance. Indigo children are born awake, was the statement. No, all children are born awake. Society and ignorant parents, along with the education system, is what dulls them. Now, a few generations back, some soul spirit packages came in here to change the dynamics of this planet and to try to restore some semblance of peace, love and abundance for all. Very quickly, they organised a cult-like mentality to counter that. And in the 1960s and early 70s, we had the Free Love and the Love and Light program introduced. But that wasn't the first incident of it. That was first formulated as a control system alternative to organised religion in the 1880s by Blavatsky. But there was also a love and light movement in the 1860s, not just the 1960s. And it was proliferated by overtly sexual attitudes and escapades, drugs and alcohol excesses, and so they were nullified by their own ignorance. Now, many of the early children were blighted by ending up with poor parents and family lines, and many fell due to the pressure, abuse, and also being shunned by society. The next batch came in, and it had it a bit better, more awake and aware, but they fell into another trap, all carefully laid out for them. The music and technology revolution came in to provide the distraction. Meanwhile, to prepare for the next batch who would come in, 2000 onwards, the ones with the extra strands of DNA, they introduced a malady to counter those children with the fake disease called ADHD. Out came the people harmer or pharma industry to stifle them. And again, ignorant parents and teachers believed the lying system that drugs was the answer. No, it wasn't. Only extra love, care and attention was required. The only problem with those agitated children was they couldn't handle the lower base frequencies this planet endured, having come from a much higher frequency existence. Around puberty age, they would begin to get less agitated and settle down and in more, providing their parents hadn't skull raped them with Ritalin. But clearly, their plans to disrupt those children with the extra DNA has not worked. And perhaps now in this generation, their new plan is to mess with their RNA. Which mode of RNA will try to do that, I wonder? We should not be saying I would die to save my children. We should live and save all organic children.